Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Self Discovery 2019. This is Self Discovery 2, and today is 9th of March. And I thank you so much for the support, for the encouragement, for inbox in WhatsApp and Facebook. And first of all, this is powered by Adonai Computer Training School. And I just thank my students for their support, their parents for those ones who are being paid for by the parents, and those ones who are employees and they're improving their computer skills from here. We encourage you to come for this computer certificate, and very soon we have NetWorld, which is a new program. We are developing a product of Adonai Computer Training, which is going to bring the solution of giving you fast internet in offices, schools, and homes, and gardens, and everywhere. So I just love the heart of innovation. I just love the ideas we're developing here. And that's why I said in this live stream how to implement a life purpose and 5 keys to overcome adversity. Because I discovered that purpose is deeply buried in adversity. So before we open up, I will come again, my brother, Emmanuel Okia. You are welcome again.
Thank you, Lindon.
And soon he has published his book called Workplace Orientation, HR Profiles and Organizational Development International. And remember, I've been bringing him, we have been talking to you guys, inspiring you. And right now, he's just here to brief us somehow. Man, you need to talk to these people about this book. And I'm so inspired that he has turned his dream into reality. So most of my friends outside there, I know you're my friends on a personal level, we meet and talk, and others we share. Others are just impact you online, others are my students. But what inspires me is that seeing someone bring an idea to reality. So we wanted to share something about, you can talk to them. He needs to bring a bonus. He's visiting my live stream today, you know, it's a personal live stream. I won't just impact you straight, and you need to share about the topic, then he can just talk to you.
Thank you so much, Lindon. Our audience, you're most welcome to this live stream 2019. Those that have been following my discussions, we discuss about performance management, then we scaled it down to performance appraisal process. Today, in few minutes, I'll be introducing a topic entitled, I'm interested in why employers fail to retain employees, and why employees are unretainable. I have packaged all that in this book.
Yeah.
I'll just highlight on a few elements, but when you get a copy of this, you'll be in position to comprehensively understand why employers have failed to retain employees and why employees themselves are unretainable. So without wasting time, there are 5 elements that I'll take you through, but again, I would encourage you to have a copy of this because we'll get the details.
Yeah, you can summarize for them before we launch out, and as you prepare for the next live stream where you have to fully package have this thing, because that's a powerful thing. You've seen how employers have failed to retain employees.
Yes.
Wow, that's so good.
So these 5 elements, we begin with workplace expected behavior. And then workplace expected behavior is well detailed in the book. Just because, for the interest of time, I'll highlight them. So one is workplace expected behavior. To what extent have employees embraced the workplace behavior, and to what extent are employers aware of the workplace expected behavior? Then 2, we are also looking at the required soft skills. What are the soft skills that you need to merge with your professional skills to be able to flow in the workplace?
Exactly. Actually, that's why we encourage for this computer certificate and more. We'll be offering an HR certificate, right?
Yes.
It's going to be taking you through the models, giving you certificates. Because with work is just a huge thing. So when you talk about additional skills, they are more important. So when you work hard each and every day, new things have to come up. So that's a powerful point.
True. And then the 3rd point is we are looking at to what extent are you going to merge your character with the acquired skill. For example, if you've acquired a university degree, how have you focused on character? Because the absence of character and the presence of a skill cannot make you excel in the workplace. So again, this book details that where you are able to emerge, where you're able to mix the character and the skills that you've acquired.
Wow.
And then the fourth one is we are looking at what is your knowledge on cultural diversity, cultural workplace diversity. Again, this, I remember we shared it in detail last time where we are saying individuals are attracted from different cultures.
Yeah, and that thing is available on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can also check out the replays. And very soon, the whole discovery teachings we have been having, they're on YouTube. That's so good, and I think it's there, it's recommended. Yeah, you can take on your point to them.
Yes, and then the last point is on psychological contracts. It looks to be a new area, it looks to be a new environment in the workplace, but to what extent have employees understood the psychological contracts? Here we mean when employees arrive at your workplace, they come with a lot of expectation, their belief system is different, and also the projected obligations are different. So to what extent are you aware of their obligations so that at the end their psychological contracts are well laid? I will not detail this. Again, I will refer you back to this book.
Yeah.
For the interest of time, I would end it here.
And this book is available at Adonai Computer Training at 10,000. So for those who visit me or need a copy, I can just drop you. Thank you so much for coming in, man, and prepare for our DVD shoot in HR, self-discovery, and other motivational topics. Thanks for showing up. Yeah, God bless you.
Bless you.
Yeah. Now officially welcome to Self-Discovery 2019, and I promised you that we're going to have 5 keys to overcome adversity and how to implement life purpose. Life purpose is much more important. When we are talking about entrepreneurs, first of all, entrepreneurs who are there, I just need a high five. You can just wave and I look at you right now. Yeah, I just have my fellow entrepreneurs here just waving to me, but right now we need to know a life purpose, like what were you meant to do, okay? And I was so intrigued. I had a desire when I just started Adonai Computer Training, and then I'm just here in just 2 months. I had an idea of network, and all these things are too innovative, and I just think about them. I take a risk for them, and I implement them. And it feels much more better to discover that you have that inner potential. Because I'm just a human like you, and I face challenges, I face setbacks here and there, lack of finances, lack of support. But through it all, as I face them, try to come up with a solution to the community, to myself, and to the work I do. I find that when you implement a life purpose, you just get a foundation, actually, a well-laid foundation, where you're going to grow all your dreams and find that they come true at last. So we are going to look at number 1, like I've been sharing on a poster advert, your gifts are your gold. That's number 1. And number 2 is we're going to look at cultivate a positive attitude. And number 3 is that you must commit to growth. And number 4 is never listen to them. I mean negatives. And number 5 is you must be responsible. And when you look around how I have set it up, you see responsibility. That's what I'm talking about, meaning about being responsible. So let's just shoot number 1. I know most of you promised me on WhatsApp to be having papers where you can know these teachings, and they'll be coming in on Amazon. Remember, books on Amazon, you can just go to Google and type Natukwasa Lindon on Amazon kind of store, and be able to view all those books. We read the reviews. I've written so many books out there. You can just browse on your phone, and you can just read something that can encourage you, actually. Because I understand that there are many people, young people, actually even old people, struggling. See their dreams come true, okay? And it's so emotional. And someone comes and talks to you, how can I start a business? I have a challenge, this approximation. So number 1 is that you must discover your unique gift. Because for me right now, I'm unemployed. I'm unemployed. And I had looked for jobs before, but in my early 20s, I had to change my mind, say I have to be self-employed. And it's just my unique gifts that have employed me. And everyone has special gifts and talents, and when expressed, you will find a true purpose for your life. And if you have forgotten what you was or have given up on sharing them with the world, rest assured that they are within you. I made this so clear that there are so much more within you. On discovering your unique gifts, let me tell you of a story about gifts. Gifts are always inside of us and are just awaiting. They're just awaiting to germinate. There was a story that when you visit the pyramids of Egypt, one of the kings there died 1,000 years ago, and in his tomb they buried him with seeds. I mean cereals. So it's after 1,000 years that they discovered actually that the tomb had seeds inside, and people had to bring them in the museum, and researchers had to ask them, can these seeds germinate? And people were just having discussions, and they had to get a special garden, and then they had to plant those seeds. Now imagine after 1,000 years, these seeds have been stored so safely, but they had to germinate with big corns, a big crazy maize. You understand? So I'm saying that regardless of your years, you can be 40, you can be 50, you can be 60, you can be 70, you can be 90, you can be 15, you can be mid-20s like me. But as long as you just catch that fire, you're going to see what's going to happen. Your life is going to take a run. And so here I say that gifts are not necessarily something you do. They are primarily about who you are. And for example, being intelligent and analytical, meaning this is who you are. For example, like here, I developed computer courses, but this is what I am. This is what I know. When I'm doing computer, when I'm doing this technical work, repairing computers and executing things, right now I'm running an administration. I never started business administration before. I'm just an ICT person. But when you just come up and discover how unique you are and how strong you are and what you can change and take further and take more, you're going to see a change happen. And what I've discovered in most of the people is that they know they can do something, but they don't believe they can do it. Actually, you don't have to know that you have a gift. You have to believe that you have a gift and just tap into it. And for this point of you must discover your gifts, I cannot neglect a point that even if a little effort counts, okay? For example, like a whole big book, you start with one sentence and at the end you have 200 pages. Or you can see a whole big tree, it starts very small. But the problem is here, where people look at the whole thing. You look at the whole end goal and then you get overwhelmed from where to start. But when you look at how you can start slowly and build a bigger project, it cannot be hard for you. Because when you're informed about something, it's much more easy to do it. And number two is that you must develop a positive attitude. If you're truly committed to turning your adversities into allies, it's necessary to have a positive attitude. A negative attitude makes life challenges more difficult to overcome. There is nothing that hurts for struggling with an inside pain for many years, because we are just humans. We can just meet, we can smile, we can see people smiling, having fun, but we are created in another way that you cannot look inside of us. So most of the people are too frustrated and they see, how can I overcome this? But it's just a little thing of having a positive attitude, of looking at the best in every condition that can really push you a little bit. It's one day at a time. So pressure comes in and stress because most people try to do a lot of things at once. But when you just have one thing at a go, you find that one challenge is getting away until you become an overcomer. So then number three is that you must commit to growth. So upgrading yourself means that you are willing to look at the subconscious beliefs that may be limiting your potential. You can read books, you can take classes, you can get all the knowledge you need. And one of the secrets I use for my success is that when I meet an adversity or a setback or a challenge, what I look inside is that I look, what can I learn from this? And how can I turn this bad situation into a better one? What was most hurting? What was most teaching? So I make sure that I change the environment of tomorrow. But the more you do, you face challenges and adversities and dig deeper, you get mad at yourself, mad at everyone around you, things get more tough, you know. But when you just commit to growth, you're like, oh, I know I made this mistake, but let me look in front. Let me look at the next environment. You know, because life is so precious when you do have it, and those little efforts you put into your personal involvement, they make a change finally, you grow. And we look at number 4 is that you must never listen to them. I will throw negatives away. There can be negative words, it can be a negative situation, it can be a negative setback, but like I told you before, never listen to them. Others come into the mind because you might say, and now this year I want to start a business, I want to launch out my idea, but then you look in the pocket. Actually, money doesn't come in the pocket, it comes from an idea. Just like have something that God is just not inspired by, just casual faith. You know, when you just have casual faith, just say, let me just do things anyhow, it cannot inspire God. But when you have that passionate faith, connected to your dreams, connected to your purpose, you'll be able to launch out and be different. And when you become different, it doesn't mean that you are just being a different person for nothing. You're so different that other people will grow to depend on you. You know, in a day you find that you have help like 10 people, 20 people, because when clients come to us, we are the people they look at for the solutions. So when you just listen to yourself and just push in on what is positive, actually it comes out to be positive. Then look at this point of you must be willing to be responsible. That you can't blame your parents where you were born or the color of your skin. You can't blame lack of education or your ex, your age. They decide what you are going to take. 100% commitment for your life, and you make it happen. Make sure you make it happen. You know, it hurts when you sit back or when you reach at a certain age and look back and you're like, oh, I wish I did that. I wish I did that. When you see the other guys doing it, so it's never too late. You just like I said before, it's not your age, it's not who is around you actually. It's you who can just make sure that taking a decision like, now I'm going to be laser focused. I'm going to make this happen. You write them down, you run after them until you have everything figured out. And you must be willing to leave your comfort zone. Here I mean, fear is a choice. Fear is a choice. I repeat it again. You can choose to let it keep you from accomplishing your goals, or you can feel the fear and do it anyway. So learn to become comfortable with being uncomfortable if you truly want to accomplish extraordinary things. Because most of the ideas actually come success when someone has faced a lot of rejections, a lot of setbacks. And imagine I was discussing with some people, they need to launch their ideas, but they're fearing rejections. How can you fear a rejection? Just the first rejection, actually when there are other 100 rejections or setbacks. Which means that if you're able to push in and leave your comfort zone, you are able to really push. So I want to make this point so clear, that you must be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable as long as you understand what you're doing is right and what you're doing is growing. Or else you can get uncomfortable if you know that what you're doing does not count or it's not going to be a generational idea. You better change. And lastly is I need to explain something about being responsible, which means it's response plus ability. If you respond to something and have that ability to take it on and develop it, it grows, you know, just like trees. Recently I was just looking at trees I was getting inspired. I looked at them, and they just keep comfortable with the soil. And they don't choose wherever they are going to grow. Sometimes you choose gardens for your seed. And just because they get comfortable with the environment and focus on what is right, consuming in the right fertilizers, finally they grow and they bring out fruit. So, and lastly, I would like to encourage you that our courses are going on. We have the March intake, the May intake, and my students are graduating. They're getting their certificates in this April. Please come and join us, refer us, your fellow employee, your family, your kid. Let them come in this ICT center and we just explore the heights. So keep inspired and get motivated. And if you need more comments or you need to make a call, ask about the school or this self-discovery teaching, which I'm so preparing. My number is always there on my poster. MTN is there, and Airtel. Then you can even reach us at our email, The Night Computing. Thanks so much for taking time and coming in and listening this motivational thing. And I hope your life won't be the same. And we shall be more doing this every weekend and making sure that at least by the end of this year, you have seen something for your life. You don't need to look back and say, oh, I really made it. Because it's really so hard to stay the same year over year. Get a life purpose, implement it, get the knowledge, and get more. You will overcome the adversity of stress, poverty, confusion, frustration, all the other bad things to talk about. Let's focus on the better thing. And God bless you so much.